So Matchroom are still trying to push ahead with this Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. fight. They're apparently targeting September 23rd in Abu Dhabi. And this is because Conor Benn still hasn't resolved the issue with UCAD. He's under investigation. They haven't come to their conclusion yet. We'll see what happens there. In the meantime, Matchroom want him to fight Eubank Jr. in the Middle East. Eubank Jr. was supposed to be fighting a rematch with Liam Smith, but Liam Smith recently pulled out with an injury. Ben Shalom says, as far as he's concerned, the Eubank Jr. Liam Smith rematch is still a go. They're working with Liam Smith with regards to recovery and so on. But he did acknowledge and he did admit that they can't keep Eubank Jr. waiting forever. Could this be, as other people have suggested, and I think I might have suggested in a previous video, a ploy by Liam Smith to go in a different direction? Because isn't Liam Smith a mandatory for somebody at middleweight? And if he longs it out enough, with the injury and stuff like that, perhaps Eubank Jr. will get fed up. He'll go fight Conor Benn and Liam Smith can go fight for a world title at middleweight. Is that what's going on or not? Or is it a legitimate injury? Maybe it's a legitimate injury. At the end of the day, this is a combat sport and people do get injured all the time. So anyway, as far as Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn, I actually prefer, just personally, the Liam Smith rematch. Yes, Eubank got wiped out in the first fight, but there's just something intriguing about it to me, or more intriguing about it than the Conor Benn fight. Can Eubank Jr. implement the stuff we've seen him implement in other fights, particularly his ferocious combination punching? We never saw him do that against Liam Smith for whatever reason. Maybe it was a tactical choice. Maybe he just wasn't in the zone. Maybe it's the influence of Roy Jones. Who knows? But when he lets his hands go, Eubank Jr. is quite impressive at times. What happens when he lets his hands go on Liam Smith in the middle of the ring? If he manages to back Liam Smith up even, what would happen? I'm intrigued to see if Eubank Jr. can turn this one around. Maybe he can't. And if he can't, if he gets stopped again by Liam Smith or just, decisively beaten again, then surely it's over. So to me, it's an intriguing story. I want to see where it goes. And these are two fighters who are similar in size than Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. With Conor Benn, I just want to see the UCAD situation resolved, the whole PED issue. I want to see what conclusion they come to. That's all I think about when Conor Benn's name comes up, is UCAD and him sorting that situation out. As far as him fighting Eubank Jr., I mean, if it happened, yeah, I would watch it. But if it doesn't happen, I'm certainly not bothered. And that was my response. That was my reaction, if you guys remember, when their originally planned fight fell through because of Conor Benn testing positive. I said, to me, this was a weird fight to begin with. It's not a fight I was particularly intrigued by. I felt like it was a strange deviation from a very solid path that Conor Benn was on at welterweight, because they were picking the right fights and the right opponents at the right time. They really were doing a great job at building him up, not just in terms of his public profile, but developing him as a fighter. So to then just turn left and take on Eubank Jr., I thought it was a really strange decision. I understand that there's money and there's family history and all this kind of thing, but at that stage of Conor Benn's career, I thought it was a weird time to do it. Surely you'd do it after he'd fought, for a world title at welterweight or whatever the case may be. But no, they decided to do it before all that and risk a loss. Just a strange thing for Conor Benn to do. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Perhaps you disagree. Perhaps you think that Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn is more intriguing than the Eubank Jr. Liam Smith rematch. What do you think is going to happen, though? Do you think Liam Smith Eubank Jr. 2 is more likely than Conor Benn versus Eubank? Drop it all in the comment section below. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast, where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.